Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm going to be reacting to The Mind, Swami Anubhavananda. Good lord, help me out in how to pronounce that, Anubhavananda. Is that correct? I still struggle with his name. So anyways, there's going to be two videos on his, because his videos are like extremely short or extremely long. So amazingly I found two that's hopefully related. One's called The Mind and one is called, I forgot what it's called. So anyways, clearly my mind's not working. Let's go ahead and get started.
अपूर्वत्वात् शंका निराकृता स्वप्न दृष्टान्तस्य पुनः स्वप्न तुल्यतां जागृत भेदानां प्रपंचेन आह. Now again they said how the waking world and the dream world are equally illusions, not real. I'll tell you in my simple words. This very lot of arguments are given. Very simple. See, all experiences happen only in the mind. No experience happens to the body. The day you will recognize this, not only understanding, recognition. See? That which has not entered in our mind does not exist for us. So all experiences happen in the mind. Joy, sorrows also in the mind. Loss, gain also in the mind. And therefore, the life is lived by the mind through the body. Therefore, when a person is in coma, he doesn't suffer. Because the mind is enfolded. How simple it is. Now, the same mind giving us a series of dream experiences and we brush them off. Oh, they are just dreams, forget about it. Where did you see and through what you saw the dream? Through the mind. So one set of experiences through the mind as dream are illusions and discarded. Why do we accept the experiences in the waking through the same mind as real? See, friends, no logic. It is only because we give a status of
I'm going to rewind that because I got to hear that again.
Set of experiences through the dream experiences and we brush them off. Oh, they are just dreams, forget about it. Where did you see and through what you saw the dream? Through the mind. So one set of experiences through the mind as dream are illusions and discarded. Why do we accept the experiences in the waking through the same mind as real? See, friends, no logic. It is only because we give a status of reality to this waking world and people. And once we understand this, and how do we understand this? Karnataka. So when an actor is acting on the stage, he is acting so wonderful as if he is really miserable, as if he is really happy, but nothing is happening to him. Therefore, स्वप्न वृत्तौ अपि तु अंतश्चेतसा कल्पितं तु असत् बहिश्चेतो गृहीतं सदृष्टं वैतथ्यम एतयोः. Therefore, whatever is seen by us in the dream is not the real one, so it is just an illusion. Kalpitam tu asat is only imagination. See? We keep on imagining anything and that appears in the dream. I don't know whether it happens to you or what. Suppose before sleeping I listen to some abhanga or bhajan or something like that. Then whole night it goes on. See? Morning you wake up with the same tune. And that tune doesn't go. It remains in the mind very long time. See? Therefore, sapna vrutto api tu antaschetasa kalpitam asat.
Okay. So two things there. I definitely, again, I prefer if Sri Ramakrishna. Yes. I want to make sure I say the name because I don't know if Krishna and Sri Ramakrishna are the same or not. I'm not sure yet. Let me know. So, I like what Sri Ramakrishna says about the waking world, that it is real. I much prefer it that way. That way, it's a little bit easier to communicate to the Western people, or to people who believe this world to be real. I believe this world to be real. Even though it may be all illusions projected on Brahman, pure consciousness. But the way I look at it is the fact that I wouldn't say this is necessarily an illusion of Brahman. The way I like to look at it, so again, this is my own opinion and perspective on this, is that we are all created out of Brahman. We are all Brahman, if you want to look at it that way. So, and I can put that in a scientific perspective, if you want to call it that we're all made of atoms. Electron, neutrons, and protons. We're probably also, I think there's smaller atoms or smaller molecules or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it's called anymore. Smaller than those. Smaller than electrons. Electrons, I think, are smaller than neutrons and protons. But whatever the smallest substance is that creates existence, it's in everything. So whatever this substance is that's in everything that exists, you can call it Brahman. And therefore, if it exists, it's made out of Brahman. This is how I like to look at it. It makes scientific sense, but it makes sense in my head a lot. And we can all say that we're all made out of the same thing. We're all Brahman. It makes this world exist and real. Our thoughts and everything. I mean, you could even if you say it's electrical signals, what are electrical signals made out of? Brahman. You know, if it exists, it's Brahman. Thoughts exist as signals, it's Brahman. Again, if it does not exist, well, we can't comprehend that. Well, I mean, maybe we can, but it's like there's nothing to comprehend, I suppose. Nothing to imagine, because in order to imagine nothing, you just don't think of anything. If you think of something, then therefore it exists, you know what I'm saying? Like unicorn. I mean, it may exist somewhere in the universe, but, you know, it does exist in fantasy. It doesn't exist in drawings. That's how we came up with it. It existed in thoughts, and it was put to paper in stories or something like that. So therefore it exists. It may not be real in our world, in Earth. Maybe it exists in another universe, maybe it doesn't. Irrelevant whether it does or does not, it's the fact that it came as thought first, perhaps, some weird dude's imagination, and it went to stories. So it existed. Not physically. Anyways, yeah, you hopefully you understand what I'm saying. So then this is the reason why I like to think of it this way, as opposed to perhaps overly complicating it. And it may be the wrong way to think about it, how I think about it. But right now, both I can understand. This to me is a lot easier to communicate. It makes more sense. It makes this world real. I just don't know how Sri Ramakrishna explains that this world is real. That's what I want to know. That's what I have to find out. That way I can see if the way he explains it makes a lot more sense than mine. Mine right now makes great sense. So, but I do understand from Advaita Vedanta's perspective that, you know, they say everything is, in a sense, an illusion, Maya. And the only real thing is Brahman, pure consciousness. Everything else is a projection of an illusion on Brahman, like mirage. And he said something, and I thought of it. I was letting it run by, but again, I guess I just say I don't like to think of this world as an illusion. Oh yeah, actually, he said that dreams are fake. They're just dreams. But why do we consider this world real? It all happens in the mind. In dreams, I guess there is a bit of a difference, and I'm curious as to what he would say. Like, you know, obviously in dreams we're able to, if you're conscious enough, you're able to create you're able to create things in the dreams. You're able to fly or do whatever you want. I mean, I remember actually in some of my dreams I was becoming aware, and the second that I was aware I woke up. I think it happened like 2 to 4 times, and I'm like it's really kind of funny though. It's like, this has got to be a dream. Oh man. I woke up when I wonder if that's realization. Whenever you realize in the objective world, the transactional reality, if you become aware. Oh wow. I guess that is so, isn't it? Where if you become aware in the objective reality, it's like that. You wake up all of a sudden. But how would that look like? Because waking up from a dream, you go into objective reality or the transactional reality. So how does waking up from the transactional or objective reality go into the absolute reality? What does that look like? That's interesting. But I'm guessing that's how it kind of has to be. Whenever I was dreaming, and I've come to realize that I'm dreaming, and then the second that I did, I snapped out and woke up into objective reality. You could say that's kind of like an enlightenment, perhaps, from the dream to the real state, realizing that this is a dream, this is fake, and then objective reality whenever you self-realize. That's interesting. Anyways, I forget where I was going at because I went on that tangent. But yes, anyways, let me pause real quick so I can get on to the second video. Okay, so this is working on the mind. Let's go ahead and give it a shot.
Cause is never known. It is the effects which are manifest. So, when we go to the doctor, we tell the symptoms. Symptoms are the effects. From these symptoms, the doctors, they reach the cause. And when the cause is corrected, the symptoms will not appear again. This is the simple rule. In the same manner, when we are thinking about life is a time pass, so if time is a problem, so what is the cause of the time? Because time is effect.
Memory?
I don't have time. मरने को time नहीं. So if time is an effect, what is the cause of time?
Memory?
So the cause of time, we have seen yesterday also, cause of time is mind. No mind, no time. See? So what we have to do if we want to live the life as a time pass, we have to conquer and arrest this cause called the mind. We have to work on the mind. But most of us normally complain about the mind. They cannot go beyond it. And thereafter they justify. After all, human beings है तो ऐसा होगा, then you suffer. See? We should never justify being miserable in life. First rule of spiritual life. See? Anybody will be miserable in that condition and that I am. So continue. No. See? When we justify something, we do not want to get rid of it. So when we justify, somebody, if this happens to anybody, he will be miserable. So you are justifying. Similarly, anger we justify. So when we justify anger, we don't want to get rid of the anger. In the same manner, when we justify the disturbances in the mind, we do not want to work on the mind. So first of all, let us spell out what do we mean by the disturbed mind. We simply say mind is disturbed. Means what? What does it mean? So the mind runs in 3 parameters. Either the mind runs in time, or the mind runs in places, or the mind runs in objects or persons. See? So, Desha Kala Vastu. Desha is the place, space. Kala is the time. Vastu is the objects or the people.
That's interesting. Swami Sarvapriyananda said Brahma is not restricted by time, space, or object, which is what he just said here. I wonder if he's talking about the same thing. It's very interesting, though. He says we're talking about the mind, but yet, at least from my understanding, Brahman has come up here in terms of how it's not restricted to those.
So these are the three areas where the mind is constantly running. Even we are not aware of this, that this is exactly what happens. Now once we have understood this, that the mind runs in time, space and object, and we are convinced of this, then what will be our approach to take care of the cause of the time called the mind? Now we'll start working on the mind. Friends, the day we start working on mind, we are reborn. See, those who are the Kundalini people, they talk about the 7 chakras. And these 7 chakras are, the lowest one is the Mooladhar, Swadhisthana, Manipur, then Anahata, Vishuddha, then Agya, and the ultimate Sahasra, 7 chakras. So, the lower 3 chakras, Mooladhar. Mooladhar is living in body identification. Moola Adhar. The very foundation of our life is body identification. And therefore, we are living as the body, for the body, on everybody. See, what we have done since morning, what we do in our whole life, what do we write about our autobiography of a Dumbo? I was born there. Who told you you are born? No, my mummy told. Did you see where from you dropped? Oh, see, friends. Therefore, that is the Adhar of this relative world, Mooladhar. And as long as we are the victims of body identification, we will be caught up in the Swadhisthana chakra, that is a volcano of desires, Kama. We want to fulfill our desires. Desires can never be fulfilled.
Whenever Swami Anubhavananda talked about the 7 chakras, about the Kundalini Yoga, the way it's been a little bit, but the thing that I remember most of all from that was the fact that focusing your energy there. So as though you're moving the energy up your body. I never heard it, well, I wouldn't say never, unless I don't remember Swami Anubhavananda explain it, but are we supposed to recognize that chakra as our everyday lives? So that we can focus on it? I guess I don't quite understand Kundalini Yoga too much. Although, again, I understand the fact that there's 7 chakras. You work your way from the bottom, working your way up. Sadhguru said that it's quite dangerous. You need someone there who is trained in that. But I don't remember them talking too much. Perhaps they did, and I just didn't register or forgot about how. No, they did talk about that. But do we need to recognize it to be able to focus our energies there? I guess what I'm asking right now is how Kundalini Yoga works. Like, do you need to understand your desires, your baser instinct, just the mundane life, so that you can focus your energies to get that part going? That's, again, perhaps I'll never do Kundalini yoga, and that's probably the reason why I don't quite fully understand that. But I guess, how do you, if you can just explain in brief, if you guys want to, is what is necessary to move up those levels of chakras? Do the baser one, do we need to know about our desires or whatever we need to be fulfilled, our baser instincts, our survival instincts? We have to understand that to focus the energy there? Or can you go about it just focusing your energy there if you already understand how to do yoga or meditation?
You fulfill one desire, second will come. See? And then desire fulfillment ultimately leads to greed. See? So if we have to write our life story, what it will be? I am body, I want to fulfill my desires, and greed, greed, greed. Till such time, we are living at these three levels. We are nowhere on the spiritual path. See? Therefore, first step we have to understand. Life is a time pass means desire fulfillment is not spiritual life. Read any stotra. What is the conclusion of every stotra? Dhanarthi labhet dhanam, putrarthi labhet putra, moksharthi labhet moksha, kamarthi labhet. Desire fulfillment is the only criteria for our understanding of spirituality, which is 100% wrong. See? And therefore our Mahamantra, nothing to gain, nothing to lose. Na kuch pana, na kuch khona. See? So we rise above these three viruses: body identification, desire fulfillment, and greed. When we rise above this, then we can start working on the mind.
Greed. So, are those? I guess the three steps is that can you? I guess you can start off the top and work your way down, or can you start off at the bottom and then the top crumbles? Because once you remove body identification, you no longer have desires or greed. But if you're struggling, perhaps you work on your greed first, then your desires, and then your body identification. Is that the? I'm assuming that's the method. You can start at any one of these, and if you start at the bottom, perhaps the rest will crumble, because once you remove body identification, you no longer identify greed or desires. I'm trying to think. Is this also talking about the yogas? But no, body identification, jnana, desires, bhakti, because I think of bhakti as emotion, jnana as knowledge, which body identification, and greed, karma? Maybe that works. Greed, you have to go do something. Action, thoughts, desires are part of your emotions, like love. And jnana, which is identification. So I am not this, I am not this. Huh, okay, well that's a way to link it up right there.
Without that we can't.
Then of course
So
Raja.
we have crossed these three hurdles: Mooladhar, Swadhisthana, and Manipur. Now we have come to the Anahata Chakra. Anahata Chakra is the one where we start working on our mind.
Interesting. So, and the working on the mind part, of course, is Raja Yoga, meditation. Huh. You guys make curious as to what's, I guess it's different paths, like what's popular. Is Advaita Vedanta more popular than, say, Kundalini Yoga, or do people do both? I'm just trying to think, if I were to do this, what would be the more practical method? And right now, I am very much leaning to Advaita Vedanta just because it makes a lot more sense to me. Meditation, not in the sense of the seven chakras, but just meditation in terms of clearing the mind. And perhaps through clearing the mind of this blank, and seeing this blankness, that you obtain realization. Anyways, I do remember what I was thinking about earlier. In terms of the dream and the real world. I guess in terms of the dream, a lot of the times you don't really have control over yourself. You're kind of just like a... I wonder if that's the same thing as true as absolute reality into objective reality. maybe in our absolute reality right now, your absolute reality is just watching you. It's like, man, what am I doing? Much like in a dream where you don't necessarily always have control over yourself. At least for me. And it's kind of like my body kind of does its own thing, and I kind of think a little bit in there. But I'm not necessarily in absolute control of everything. Anyways, it was the sheer fact that in terms of, I guess, subjective reality, which is the dream, and objective reality is the fact that objective realities, I can say, you know, this is in fact, you know, say this is a pen. Do you see a pen? If you see a pen, I see a pen, it's like, okay, this is real, for the most part. Whereas in the dream, it's very difficult to do tests like that, I don't think. Again, just because you have such limited control. I don't know. Let me know. Are you able to have absolute control over your body, or are you kind of like just part of the ride when you're dreaming? Sometimes you can do certain things, but most of the time you're in the mood, you're in the process of doing something, and you're just aware that you have to make a decision. Like, you don't know how you got there, you don't know why these people are there. You're just kind of like plopped in the middle, and like, and then you kind of just know. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if you care to. Whether are you just part of the ride? Do you have some control? Like, you're aware that you're there, and that you're kind of aware of the situation, and you make decisions. Or do you have absolute control where you know you're there, you're walking around, you're choosing to do stuff? Which I have that dreams too. I remember running down the street because I was changing in gym class, and all I have was my underwear on, and I'm somehow got plopped in the middle of the street, and I'm running back to my gym class for school to go to change back into my clothes, because we change clothes for gym class because you sweat. I do remember that running. It's like, oh, I need to go back to gym class, and I'm in a different country for that matter too, which didn't make any sense. But yet somehow I knew it's like, this is perhaps the way to the gym class back in the other country. If I just follow this road, I'll be back in the other country. But I think that for the most part, I am. No, maybe I am mostly in control, at least of my body, but not the surroundings. Anyways, let me know if you want the answer. Anyways, this is my reaction to Work on the Mind and the Mind from Swami Anubhavananda. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.